Good evening and welcome to story number 326. My name is Mary, and today's story called The Gentiles. The next morning, Peter went with the men. Some of the believers from the church of Joppa went with them. On the next day, they came to Caesarea and entered the house of Cornelius. There they found Cornelius waiting for them, and with him a number of his family and friends. As Peter came into the room, Cornelius fell down at his feet and was about to worship him. But Peter raised him up, saying, "Stand up. I am a man, not God." When Peter looked around, he saw many people had met together, and they were all Gentiles, not Jews. Peter said, "You know, it is against the law of the Jews for a Jew to come into the house with one of another nation or to meet with him. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. For this reason, I come at once when I was sent for. Now I ask why you have sent for me." Cornelius said, "4 days ago, I was praying at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when a man stood by me, clad in shining garments, and said to me, 'Cornelius, your prayer is heard, and your good deeds are known to God. Send now to Joppa and send for Simon, who is called Peter. I sent at once for you, and you have done well to come so soon. Now we are all here before God to hear whatever God has given to you to say to us." Peter opened his mouth and began to speak, for he saw now what the vision meant. He said, "I see now that God cares for all men alike, not for the people of one nation only. In every nation, those who fear God and do right please him." Then Peter began to tell the story of Jesus, how he lived, how he did good works, how he died, how he rose again, and how in Jesus Christ everyone who believes may have his sins forgiven. While Peter was speaking, the Holy Spirit fell on everyone in the room, and the Jews who were with Peter were amazed as they saw the Spirit of God giving to Gentiles. Then Peter said, "Can any man forbid that these should be baptized with water, upon whom the Spirit has come, as he came upon us?" At Peter's command, these Gentile believers with Cornelius were baptized as members of the Christ Church. Peter stayed with them a few days, living with Cornelius and eating at his table, though he was a Gentile, something which Peter would never before have thought to do. Soon the news went through all the churches in Judea that Gentiles had heard the word and been baptized. At first, the Jewish believers could not believe this should be allowed. But when Peter told them all the story of Cornelius and the angel, of his own vision of the great sheet full of animals and of the Spirit coming upon the Gentiles, then they all praised God and said, "So to the Gentiles, as well as to the Jews, God has given to turn from their sins and to be saved in Jesus Christ and to have everlasting life." And that was the word of the Lord. What a great story. Now we have 5 questions to discuss. The first one says, who did Cornelius think Peter was when he first saw him? Who did Cornelius think Peter was when he first saw him? Second question, why didn't Peter want to go into Cornelius' house? Why didn't Peter want to go into Cornelius' house? Third question, how did Peter learn what the vision meant? How did Peter learn what the vision meant? Number 4, what happened that day at the centurion's house? What happened that day at the centurion's house? Last question, number 5. What did the Jews say at first when they heard Peter's news? What did the Jews say at first when they heard Peter's news? The second part of the question number 5 and last says, what did they do in the end? What did they do in the end? And now we have come to the end of day 326. How great is that? Don't you sometimes feel that what a wonderful thing to hear God's voice in your ears, or for God to send an angel to talk to you and tell you something? Do you see or hear some voices sometimes talking to you? It happened to me. One day I'll share it with you. Okay, for now I'll say thank you for joining me, and please share the good news with your family, friends. Share the video, no problem. And may God bless us all. Stay tuned. I will be taping the next one shortly. Bye for now.